Good morning, everybody. Coffee Talk is coming at you. I am Guido. This is Coffee Talk. It is Sunday, and it is time to talk about tanks. But we have kind of a calm before the storm idea this week because there's just not much going on. I'm trying to get comfortable here. Actually, I'm trying to get ready because it's cage match anonymizer Coffee Talk. All right, we're gonna. Oh, I have to admit, I've had a little bit of fun with the anonymizer thing. To be quite honest, I do want to thank you, the vast majority of you who stuck around. I know that a lot of people did not agree very much with what I said, so we're going to talk about it a little bit. We're going to do that later. But I actually appreciate that from the community, that you guys are able to see past the fact that we don't agree on things. Some of you agreed. A good number of you did not agree with the way I came off with it. I have actually thought about it a bit, and I'm going to give you my bottom line thoughts on the anonymizer. You know, it's coming. There's nothing that's going to stop it. I'm not even calling for it to be stopped, but I just had some concerns and some issues with it. But I'll give you my bottom line issue with it, and then you guys can let us know down in the comments what yours are. But this is not going to be the anonymizer coffee talk. We're talking about World of Tanks. We all enjoy playing the game, so we're going to have our standard coffee talk, and then we'll start. Then I'll go incognito. I'll switch out to another account, and they won't even know I'm there. They won't even know I'm there. What do we got going on today? Channel news, missions and specials, subjects du jour. It really is the calm before the storm, isn't it, guys? I mean, there's not much going on right now. Frontline is ending. Ranked battles ended, last week? And then we got Thanksgiving. Probably going to be some missions and specials over Thanksgiving. Then we're going to have Black Friday, and then we're going to launch somewhere between Black Friday and I don't know when. Hopefully we have Christmas. Now, I'm really hoping that Wargaming does not cancel Christmas like they canceled Halloween. That's probably not going to happen. They already have a lot of stuff. They'll just recycle something. Ideally, it's something new and cool, or slightly new and cool. Let's not get crazy, Wargaming. I don't want you to do anything completely different, because I think that the last two Christmases, has it been 2 or 3 that we've had the build something event with the decorations and things? It's at least 2. It might be 3. I'm not sure. Well, hey, let's get started with channel news. We're just going to launch right into it. That's what we're going to do. First thing second, we have the grinding missions for the Chimera. The Chimera. They're going all right. I've knocked a couple more out along the way. You guys have seen that on stream a couple times. I think I featured a couple on my YouTube channel. We're still working at it. We're not really quite there yet. In fact, let's find out just for giggles where Guido is on the Chimera. There it is. Chimera. We are done with the Union, so USSR and China. We are 9 of 15 for block. And that's an unfortunate name because they have a lot of blocking missions in here. And guess what I'm stuck on? The blocking mission. We'll just let that go this week. We're not going to talk about it. I'm on number 15 for Alliance. I just have to do a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. I don't do 6,500 very often. But it's often enough that it should happen in the not too distant future. And for Coalition, which is actually a bunch of countries with relatively small lines, I have to kill 6. And I've come so close on that a couple times, up to 5 with that. But these missions, these campaign missions really are, once you get to the Chimera, is you really do want to try to focus on what it is that you're doing. And you need to pay attention to what tank you pick and do a little try-harding for the mission. You can turn them all on and just let them happen. And that's more or less what I've done. But I've really cranked through quite a few of them by paying a little bit of attention to them. So we'll get there eventually. What else is going on? You can see that the ARL is 2 marked. So we are working on the 3 mark of the ARL. That will be interesting. Let's find out where Guido is. I want to say I'm at 87 something. How close am I? 87.49. There you go. So we got the 2 mark. I played a few more battles along the way. I was actually in really good shape as the number 1 ARL player, but I don't think I've fallen off. And I don't have the 30 battles yet. Let's see what it says as of right now. There she is at 59.56. I still need 7 more battles So I've done 23 battles in my efforts. I've gone from 1 mark up to 87 and a 59, 56. Were I to keep that going for 7 battles, that's been a little rough lately, would put me at #1 player for the ARL. So I'm definitely doing well for an ARL player. Such as it is. It's not a tumor. Hey, ranked is over. Good riddance. See ya. Wow, ranked. Wow. Who liked it? Who enjoyed it? Who liked the goodies? I'll tell you what, I like the goodies. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I'm not gonna kid you there. The bonds and the goodies, yeah, that's good stuff. The gameplay, not so much. It really was, I think it ran the gamut. For me, what I saw, my opinion, is it was either super duper camp fest, I want to try to do the best I can because I think my team's going to lose and I want to be one of the top 4 or 5 or whatever it was that either didn't lose a chevron or if you're #1, you got a chevron, right? It was either that, super camp fest, oh my gosh, hide in the corner, or it was this more or less organized kind of gameplay where all these really good players in all of these reward tanks grouped up and just steamrolled. Occasionally I had games where the 2 groups met. There were 2 groups of good players doing that, and those were pretty good brawls. Full disclosure, I was a complete dirtbag, and I played Artie nearly the whole time. Why? Because I've talked about it, the role experience thing. I knew it was broken. I was right, especially for artillery, and which is why I played the artillery to test it. When you got those 2 big groups of brawls, those were amazing for artillery. You could just dump shots in between people, 5, 6 tanks at once, stun everybody in sight, and it was in actuality easy mode, without any exaggeration whatsoever. And let's actually take a look. Can I still see my stats for ranked? I think I can. There you go. So I got to 2nd Division rank 7 where I gave up. I quit. Didn't really care past that. I think the stats, actually, if I go over here, I can do it this way, right? Go to statistics, and then I go to ranked. And I played a whole 29 battles in ranked. Let's see, season 1, 2019. Sorry, I played 60 battles, never mind. Efficiency was 116, just playing Artie. That's insane. Now, nowhere near the top of the leaderboard. I'm not telling you that this is going to make you the top in the Gold League. It simply is not. But it is going to easily get through. I was 65% on victories in 60 battles. Playing Artie, guys. All right, look, Artie, 55 games and 5 in my Mana Corps. No light tanks. It was, those are Arties. Those are Arties mixed in there. It was 2 or 3 in the Mana Corps, and I think, maybe it was all 5 in my Mana Corps. It might have been all in my Mana Corps. I think it was. So Mana Corps and Artie. What? Insane. Anyway, ranked is over. My next stream, we're going to leave it open. I think it's going to be Wednesday, the 27th. Let me double check that. Correct, the 27th. That's my plan, so expect it from 9 to 12. That's what I'm looking for, but because I'm going to have a lot of time off this week, I'm going to try to stream as much as possible for you guys. And hopefully today, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully today later, I will knock out another Sheriff stream for the turkey shoot. I've had a lot of fun with that, actually. You know why? And this kind of goes to the anonymizer thing, and one of the reasons why, I'm not going to say walked back, but I am going to say expanded my view a little bit. I really did enjoy playing the Sheriff account and just derping around. And I had a good time, and I did pretty well, actually, so it wasn't a problem. Of course, you have those crazy good crews, so I got it. It's all gold loadouts, everything. It's a huge advantage for a good player. It really is. But I played aggressively, and for the most part, I let people have shots at me. I didn't go hide for the most part. Occasionally, I decided not let Artie have as many shots at me, although they unfortunately killed me multiple times, as I would expect because I'm in a Sheriff account. But we'll get to that. We will get to that. I am going to continue to harp on this whole anonymizer thing, even as I tell you I'm not going to harp on it. You know me, man. I love having fun with you guys. It's awesome. All right, where are we? I'm gonna have a drink of coffee first. Let's take a look at the missions and specials, such as they are here as we are in the calm before the storm. So what have we on the website? We've got a Black Friday BTSV. We'll get that in a minute. Remember 1.5 weekend, you should have put your code in. Somebody mentioned a while ago that I should do a Friday I'd love to if I had the time, but I know that a lot of times when I bring this up, it's late. It's the end of the weekend and it's a code. So I don't know. Maybe I can somehow, maybe I can do a Friday afternoon, like 5-minute thing or something and try to help you out. Would that help anybody? Or I don't know. I don't know if there's enough people who don't know how to do this now that it matters, or new guys might want to see that. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. So anyway, the code for the 1.5 weekend, tank mastery stuff, rank battles is over. Common Test 2, we'll talk about that a little while later. Anonymizer, obviously, later as well. So not much going on here. Let's jump into the premium shop. See what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of news releases, but there's not a lot of substance or anything in there. But there are some things brewing, though. We'll look at those. BTSV is a big package. This is an interesting tank. I played it on the Sheriff account. It's a collector's thing. Is it an amazing tank? The armor's interesting, very angled, but it is not impenetrable. I did play the Panzer IIJ on the Sheriff account. That was funny. That was funny. It did Panzer IIJ things until I ran into, I think, a Martyr, which has enough pen to knock it down. The Frontline Tanks are still out there for the rest of the, I think, Sunday. What is it? 21 hours, so they're almost gone. These are largely good. I talked about the ISU 130 last time. That's more of a collector's tank. It has a ridiculous DPM. It has a really hard time penning because its pen is really low. So, interesting tank. These are all good. The Progetto, the Lancen are all good. The Scorpion's the Scorpion. It's a legend. Scorpions and I don't get along very well, but that's my problem, not yours. Frontline LT 432. This is a very good scout. And then we've got some deals on gold and things. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but it is surprising to me. You've got this featured, and then you've got gold, and there's no discount. It's not, what is so... Buy some gold. I don't know if they're trying to get people to buy gold right before they give away a lot at Christmas. I don't know. The 41D's on sale. It's exclusive. It's exclusive. It's an exclusive for me as well as the Scorpion. So I don't know if that's a Twitch Prime thing or what's going on with that. So you may not see all the exact same things. Watt Salute is still in there as well. If we click over to the gold, I don't think there's a whole lot going on here that's exciting. The Salute is still going, and I don't know how long. I guess it was November, right? Was that the Veteran Salute month? So I assume in December these things will go away. If you're going to pull the trigger on these are good deals if you go ahead and add a coupon to it, as I've said before. 51 bucks, 39, so you get 9,000 gold and special missions. Break. I did read some issues with the special missions from some people on the forum. I did not delve into it. So, buyer beware on that case. That's what I mentioned about these two things before. When I looked at them the first time, I said, yeah, they're a good deal, but they kind of have these missions that you have to play to get your really good deal. And if I'm going to pay for a good deal, I just want to pay for the good deal. You know what I mean? So what they're counting on, this is a standard marketing thing, really, and it's not nefarious, it's just something they do, is they're sort of counting on some people not getting all those missions done. For all various reasons, travel, forget, whatever, and eventually they make a little bit extra on that because you more or less forgot. I would rather just buy the crap up front and not have to go through some missions to get my gold. Other people may be different. That's just my opinion. Guido's opinion. We speak about ourselves in the third person. Guido is going to have a drink. Every time I say that, Guido's going to have a drink. You must think I have something in there other than coffee. I do not. It's only coffee this morning. Okay, premium days. You can put coupons, or at least I can, on these two, all the way down to the 90 days, so that's a pretty decent deal. It actually makes these premium purchases pretty nice, a fairly decent discount. Christmas is coming. I don't have any inside information. My assumption is there's going to be a lot of premium days available in the boxes. So do what you got to do as far as that goes. And maybe that's a good enough deal with your coupon that piling on more premium days after through box buying is fine. If we get to vehicles here, if we get here, but we did. So here we are. This is amazing. We made it to the vehicles. There's not much else going on here, guys. Really, the Su-130 is actually on sale. I was sort of surprised. I don't think that showed up on the featured. If it did, I missed it. So that's out. The Cromwell B, You can grab a Brother-in-Arms 0 skill crew off the Cromwell B. That's a good thing. Or is it a 0 skill or just a Brothers-in-Arms? I think maybe it's just a Brother-in-Arms. I don't remember. Somebody can remind me down below. But in any event, it's a crew that has Brothers-in-Arms. Whether it's 0 skill or not, it's already got 1 skill on it, and it's a Brother-in-Arms crew. Remember that if you buy one of these things, and I don't know if you can get it without just the package. You just get the... Oh, yes, sure you can. So 19 bucks, and I can get a coupon. So let's check this out. If I do this and I use a coupon, I've got one that works, a 10% guy. 17 bucks for a Cromwell B, a crew, 500 gold, a garage slot. So that's another, what, 150 gold? If it's on sale, call it 300. Let's just say it's 300. Full price. 800 gold and a crew plus the gold for the tank for 17 bucks. It's actually not a bad deal if you want to go that way, if you own the Cromwell B already. In this case, when you're buying it out of the store, you will get the gold, unless it tells you you don't. And here's where you look for that. Down here. And in details. So I think that's just boilerplate. I believe it's always right here in details when you go to look at it. So make sure you read that. It doesn't say it. If you're not going to get the gold, it tells you you're not going to get the gold. The assumption is you get the gold, but sometimes they goof up. However, my understanding is still at this point, if you buy this, you will get the gold because you own the tank. The question is, will you get the discounted price? That I don't know. The discounted price of the gold. You got a discount on your Cromwell B, so whatever the total cost of the Cromwell B is, we're going to add that remove that discount from it and give you, subtract is the word. Subtract the discount, and that's what you're going to get. All right, but is that enough on that? I think it is. I think it is. Anything else in the specials? No, this is all the same stuff, guys. Nothing else to say here. Let's go check out the missions because there's just not that much to talk about there either. If we go to events, which is where your Christmas stuff will be, you can see that nothing's going on. So watch that little space / watch the main page for announcements on what's going to happen. I don't know. I buy power. Top 10. How come I have not done very many of these? Is this all tier 10 or what is it? Oh, I've been playing the ARL so much, I just haven't done very much of it. So that's the competition to get, I think, a laptop and some other goodies. There's a leaderboard on the webpage. Anybody doing that? It's such a crazy grind when you do this. People who they must play 24/7 trying to get this laptop. It's amazing. There's a lot of botting and stuff going on in these competitions as well, even with limiting it to top 10. So I mean, if you want to laugh, go look at the leaderboard and see. Maybe I'll do that a little while later in break here and see if I can find it at how many battles this guy or gal has done. Scavenger hunt is standard. In fact, I've kind of fallen off, to be quite honest. Look at this. I've only got up to 5 codes. I think I've even stopped. I've completely forgot about it. Yeah, I've only done 15. It's the 24th day, and I think have the 3 free ones come in. Domo said that everybody was going to get 3, so I actually may have only done 12. That's terrible, because it is a good deal to get all those reserves and things. So I highly recommend that you guys do that. Tier challenge missions. This was the mission for the weekend, I believe. So it's pretty standard right here, the different tiers, and you can get some goodies. This one especially is good with large kits. I sell the small kit, so it's basically giving me another 3,000 credits each time I get one. Tank mastery. Yep, whatever. We got this, the RHM, the 4005, the ST1. Oh, that's cool. I might try that one, actually. And the Batchat 25T. I got a really good Batchat replay coming up for you guys from Fallen. Very good player, so look for that one in the next week or two. Player vehicle type right is standard. Not much to say there. Remember, that's a code. So, and you're gonna, if you don't have this in your garage and you don't know what it is, you're gonna have to dig back into the announcements on the main webpage and find that one to get the code. Juliet is still around. Kilo should be coming up pretty soon. What, about a week? Maybe slightly less than a week. Tank rewards, man, everybody should be done with this by miles. By miles and miles. And I think you can still get the goodies by playing a battle every day. So this should come to you Actually, I don't know that. I need to check that out. Well, hold on a minute. Let's do this real time. I'm going to go over here. Am I getting... Oh, you can't know. Never mind. I was going to go look at my points, but once you select the last level on Tank Rewards, it doesn't show you your points anymore. And I haven't noticed whether you keep getting the goodies. It seems to be, right? It seems to reset. So it looks like you can still get all these kits as you go. I'll try that later. I'm not sure. Sometimes you get so many things when you finish a battle, it's hard to understand where all the stuff came from, which is good. That's a good problem to have. See, I told you, there's really nothing going on there. No tricks or tips I can tell you. That's very interesting. So where are we now? Let's take a look at it. We're done with all that messing around. And I think, yep, we're done with missions. We're going to subjects du jour. Oh, we're getting closer. We're getting closer to the anonymizer. We're going anonymous, people. Just spilled my coffee all over the place. All right, subjects du jour coming up next. Subjects du jour, people. Check this out. World of Warships server transfer offer. Very interesting. So World of Warships is offering server transfers. Some of you guys play that. Maybe you need to move your account from one place to the other. That is happening. One place or to the other. One place or the other. Applications begin 18 November, so it's already started. Transfers begin 2 December, pretty soon. Close 9 December, and transfers end 10 December. Very interesting. So, I don't know, does this mean maybe people will get some World of Tanks transfer capability? They've talked about it once in a while. I know in World of Warships they said no, no, no. They offered it once, I think, in World of Tanks for a fairly specific situation. I don't remember, but there you go. I don't know if this means it may happen in the future, but it's happened, so a precedent has been set. IS-2, double barrel tanks. What's the deal with the double barrel tanks, huh? What's the dealio? Let me see if I can find the one I wanted to look at. Ah, there it is. So I think we're all kind of wondering if at Christmas we're going to get double barreled tanks. Well, here's Guido's slightly formed opinion in the old maybe not kind of thing. They're in super tests, so they're not very close, are they? So they haven't even made it to common test. That does not sound to me like something we're going to get at Christmas. Also, too, in addition, and at the same time, last night the IS-2 received a second iteration. The developers realized that the tank was far too bad for the tier. Oof. However, for now, only the top gun is being worked on, and it's unknown if the stock grind is going to be miserable as well. Stock gun is 85mm with 120mm of penetration. Stock tanks are not that different from fully upgraded KV-1 with 2 barrels. So here's the deal. They're having a bear of a time, I believe, balancing these things. Right? You either make their guns so miserable that the fact that you have 2 of them doesn't matter, right? Or you make the gun competitive, and the fact that it has 2 of them makes everyone else's life miserable from the alpha. So this is what caught my eye the most. Bunch of numbers. Average damage per minute from 1,277 to 2,209. So probably the balance idea here, like they do with autoloaders, is the DPM is fairly anemic, right? But the burst potential is fairly amazing. And then they have to balance the pen and all that good stuff in between all of those. The length of time it takes to send a clip out and all that. But similar idea with a double barrel. If I just plop 2 top tier guns of that same tier on it, then you got a big problem, because you're talking an IS-2 or plain old IS with the 175 pen 122mm is dropping 390 alpha. So you're just going to tier it up once and let that bad boy drop 390 alpha with each gun. So nearly 800 damage if it pens both, blah, 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 blah. And the limitations for the time at which it takes to do all these different things. So my opinion is that they're having a bear of a time balancing this correctly. They're either making it completely terrible, or it's just overpowered, and they run into these things sometimes with their balance. But we'll see what happens. That's my opinion. I think this is why these are taking so long. We heard for a very long time that they were working on the mechanics of it, i.e. the actual game engine, the design of how the double barrel thing will work. And now we're messing around with the numbers, trying to figure out how we balance these things per tier. The first idea, I believe, is obviously they took the IS hull and they up-tiered it, and then they put the 2 guns on. This is there's a lot of different things going on here, because the armor's kind of bad for the tier, but the 2 guns can be overpowered. I don't know if they're going to... I was going to say I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Obviously, they've invested so much. I bet these come. What they look like, I don't know. All right. Goodness gracious. I wanted to mention some of the new CCs, and I wanted to highlight one in particular whose name is 13 Disciple. You may know him. He has a website. Here it is, 13disciple.stream. And he's got some stuff about himself. He's actually just started, I think just started more or less. He's in Clan G, streaming, and pretty good stream. So he explains what he's doing, more or less like I do for the most part. Is a very good player, so check out 13 Disciple. But the reason I wanted to show you his site mostly is this stuff here. Learn to play guide, mechanics, very well written. This is good stuff, folks. So if you want to learn some of the higher level stuff, and I believe you actually, this is some of the basic stuff, but learn to play, optimize, and anticipate, improving consistency, practical application. This is all the stuff I talk about. You're getting real crazy. The crab paradigm. I mean, it's good stuff. Loot box guide. So I guess he's really been doing this for a while, because he's got loot box guides. But I think as he's become a CC, he's really starting to accelerate how this is all done. Triple MOE guides. Want to know how to do that? How they work? That's a great article. He's done the Kron, the IS, and the 110. So no joke, he's doing tier 10 stuff. And then commentary. So as you can tell, he's got a YouTube channel. Check out 13 Disciple. Just wanted to highlight him for you guys. Okay. Let's see if did I got everything I wanted to talk about. I think I got it, because now we're going to the anonymizer. Okay. The anonymizer. I dropped a video. First of all, what I'm going to say is I am really glad. I am really glad that I did not drop the first video that I made. My instincts were good, even though they were bad when I made it. So it was quite a hype drama video, which is not my thing. It was that day, apparently. Good news is I didn't drop it, so it'll never see the light of day. So I made another one, which you might say, well, shit, Guido, if the first one was hype and drama, well, it must have been really bad, because the one you dropped was hype and drama. All right, fair enough. I missed my lips with that. All right, so I dropped the video. I still stand by that video, absolutely, but I will modify the stance a little bit, because as I thought about it and talked to people and read things on the forum, and the forum's blowing up with it. The fact is there's a lot of arguments on both sides. The good news is it's voluntary. Now here's my bottom line with the anonymizer deal. My issue with it is that I am a vanilla player. I am playing the game as it is designed by World of Tanks. And now this third-party software, which has caused such angst and issues, has caused them to react, rightly so. They do need to react. But what they've done now is I'm caught in the frag pattern in my gameplay. So, yes, you should absolutely 100% positively be able to block XVM, your stats from going to those guys, and then being displayed in other people's game during the match. 100%, absolutely. The fact that they made it voluntary is really good in listening to the community, so I appreciate Wargaming doing that. What I absolutely disagree with is that in my vanilla client, I now can't see their names and their clans. Right? I don't want their stats. I don't care about your stats in game. You've seen me play. It doesn't change. If I recognize somebody maybe slightly, and I know that's the argument that people are making, that people focus me because they recognize my name. In the vanilla client, that, for me, to be quite honest, that's one of those too bad, dude. That doesn't have anything to do necessarily with stats or whatever, but if you made a name for yourself, that's part of the game. It's part of PvP online. As far as putting stats on top of it, colors and whatever from a third party, and then abusing people, that's total and utter BS, and 100% should be blocked. And I don't think I said anywhere in that last video that that's what I wanted. If I If you came away with that, then I didn't articulate myself correctly. And that's basically the bottom line for me is, as a vanilla player, and have been for a long time, having seen what XVM does and all the shenanigans around it, yeah, man. So what should have Wargaming done as far as Guido's concerned? They should have just blocked XVM. See ya. Now, that is the burnt ground, right? The burnt ground solution. The other option is what they did, make it voluntary. Make it voluntary. So block XVM voluntarily, but don't do anything with the names and clans that are in the vanilla client, because that's just part of the game. Fact is, we're not going to get that, so we're going to have people being able to block their names. So here's the thing. This was a great point brought up by somebody. I think it was on stream or maybe on one of my videos. Here's a great question about it though. If Guido selects block, am I then allowed to see other people's stats? I mean, seriously, what do you think about that? If you select block, you should also be blocked from seeing other people's stats. That's my opinion. If you select block, you should not be able. But the problem is that those stats are not displayed by World of Tanks, by Wargaming. They're grabbed off the API by a third party and displayed to you via a mod. Also, in addition to, and at the same time, I'm already hearing that there are mods made to work around the block. I don't think it would be that hard, but I'm not a coder, so somebody else could fill me in. I think smart people are going to figure that out pretty quickly if they haven't already, and be able to display your stuff anyway. So this gets me to the last part of my biggest point, of one of my bigger points on the video, is that I don't think it's going to matter, guys. I really don't. It's not a hype thing. It's not a you're stupid because you're doing it and it's not going to matter thing. It's just the fact. I'm just giving you what I believe the facts are going to be after we start this thing. That in the long run, in the whole, in the meta of the game, it's not going to appreciably matter. If it matters for you, then I'm glad. I hope it does. Frankly, I hope it does. If it makes your game experience better, then that's fine with me. And it doesn't have to, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be fine with me, but I am actually genuinely happy that if your game experience is better, that's good. For me, playing vanilla, right? Remember, we're talking about a third-party app / service mod that is forcing Wargaming to change something in their vanilla client for their vanilla players. That is a little bit weird, isn't it? Or isn't it? Is it not weird, or is it just a case of, well, Guido, that's the way it is, they have to do it? I mean, hey, look, Pilgrim's here. Hey, Pilgrim, say hi to Pilgrim. Thank you. We're getting very serious, Pilgrim. Now I'm talking to a little blinking light, and anyway, so I think I made my point right there. I will say it one more time. I will reiterate this from the beginning. I do appreciate everybody hanging on. I do appreciate everybody giving me their honest opinion. The good news, we don't have to agree. Why? I'm actually really glad we don't all agree, because you know what makes me nervous? A bunch of humans walking in lockstep in the same direction always makes me nervous. And maybe in a pixel tank game, that's not really a thing, but you understand what I'm saying, right? I like it when we don't all agree, because there's probably, and in this case there was, other angles that I wasn't looking at. So hopefully you guys felt the same way, that you were getting more information from more people, getting more ideas of how they felt about it, and you have a better understanding of the whole issue and what's going on. And maybe your position has shifted slightly as well. And it doesn't have to. Maybe it hasn't. Anyway, as far as, I will leave this as one thing. Somebody sent me a link. It was 13th Hussars, or 8 Hussars from the forum. And it was a Reddit post from about a year ago, and a guy had played, it was about a 2,800 win 8 or 3,000 win 8 account. He was a good player. So he played X number of battles in that. I think he said 1,000. And he tracked how many times he had been stunned. And then he played, I think, the same amount in a very low win 8, account. His numbers came out to, in the high win 8 account, being hit by Artie 6 times more than in the low 1.8 account. The problem is I didn't see any links to any of the data or how he did it or how it was parsed and done. So as far as I'm concerned, that's interesting and compelling. But as far as going, yeah, that's true, I don't think I can really say that. 6 times seems a lot. But I will say one last thing about that. It was interesting reading the comments down below, because some of the other good players come in and said, well, you know what? I don't really notice probably how much I get targeted by artillery, because I just always am, and I play the game a lot. So maybe that's where I am. But honestly, I don't. Yeah, I get hit. I talk about it on stream. I show you on Miserable Mondays. I get hit by arty a lot. I feel like that, but I've always felt like that was just confirmation bias and a little bit of me-ism right there. It's probably true that you get targeted a little bit more when your colors are pretty or your name is known. That's just natural. I don't know if it's 6 times more than a bad player, but I'm sure it's some more, right? Overall, I don't think it's that big a deal, but that's Guido's opinion. That's Guido's opinion. I know that there's a lot of good players who are going to be very happy to go dark. So I will be really interested at the end of the day in 6 months from now when we revisit this and look at it, or a year or so, and go, all right, what did it do? Am I still happy that I went anonymous? Did it do anything for me? Am I still angry about being... When I say I'm talking about us at large, good players, bad players. Am I not being stat shamed anymore? Am I not being chased in the garage? Is it slightly better? Is it no different? Is it way better? I don't know. I think my opinion is it's not going to be much better to no better at all. That's the range I think is going to happen. But it could be in 6 months to a year, everyone goes, you know what? It was the best thing Wargaming ever did. I would appreciate that they don't affect vanilla, because a third-party stat site has a bunch of garbage that people pay too much attention to. But I guess we're past that at this point, I suppose. All right, cool. That's my anonymizer discussion. We shall speak of it no more. That's not true. We're going to talk about it some other time, I'm sure. All right, let's end this on a light note, all right? Because I'm starting to become a big fan of old David. I am starting to become a big fan of old David. We're going to go over, and I'm going to try to find, where did David... David, where are you, man? There you are. This is great. So his latest one that's been dropped on Status Report on Rita's blog over here is about the Bren carrier. All right, so I'm not going to make you listen to it all, but the beginning of it's actually pretty good. So here we go.
If you find that you like Tank Chats, why not subscribe to the Tank Museum channel, and you can watch them all. Thanks so much.
All right, David, you're the man. All right. He's like, I don't know what this internet crap is, but they told me to say this, so whatever. Go see the Tank Chats. All right, here we go.
Now this is the universal carrier. A lot of you will call it the Bren gun carrier. Now, strictly speaking, that's incorrect.
That's incorrect,
there
sorry.
was a thing called a Bren gun carrier. It appeared a bit earlier, along with 2 other vehicles, the Scout carrier and the Cavalry carrier, and they preceded the universal. It came about thus. These vehicles, the...
All right, so my Brit friends, Why are British armored vehicles so weird? This looks like a little toy. You know what I mean? But it was infinitely and eminently, not eminently, but infinitely useful, right? I mean, they did all kinds of crap with this silly little toy looking thing. It's so funny. There's like 8 big old dudes sitting in this little tiny thing cruising around. And I suppose you might say the same about the little tiny Jeep that the U.S. used. This one was just tracked. But you get the idea that, oh, it's a tracked vehicle, it's a tank. But then it's this little wing kind of thing. Anyway, take it away, David.
Bren carrier, Scout carrier, so were pre-war, really. And in 1940, they decided to amalgamate all their functions into just one vehicle which could do everything. And that's how the universal carrier was born. Now, these were built in Britain in huge numbers, and also in Canada, which is another country that turned out a huge number of them. They
Was that some disdain for Canada, or was he about to say something derogatory? Also in Canada. Anyway.
They were used everywhere. In fact, there were so many versions of it that it would take me all day to list them, even if I could remember them all, which I can't. But it was...
Those are the gems. That's why I recommend that you watch these. Those comments are the absolute gem. That's why it makes this series so awesome. If I take me all day to list them, even if I could remember them, which I can't.
But an incredibly useful little vehicle.
Oh man!
Very sophisticated in a way. A tracked vehicle, as you can see, with quite an unusual drive system in it. The odd thing is that the back, which is where the load is carried,
This is the best part.
is really divided into 3 parts, and the centre part is taken up by a Ford V8 engine,
Ford.
which rather spoils the accommodation area there, except that without an engine, of course, the thing's absolutely useless. But that's how it works.
I'm going to leave you with that part. It's divided into 3 sections, and there's a little Ford engine which takes up a lot of space. But of course, without the engine, it's completely useless. David, no truer words have ever been said. A universal carrier without an engine is completely useless. That guy is amazing. How much info does he have in that brain? That's clearly one of those dudes that has forgotten more than you will ever know about tanks. You know what I mean? He has forgotten. He forgot this morning more than you know about tanks. He may have forgot this morning also. I don't know. Let's wrap this up, guys. Oh, man. Well, that's it. It was Pilgrim. Pilgrim's here. He says he's got his Blue Mountain Dark Roast on the go, listening to the Coffee Talk supplemental I just put out. Let's wrap this up right here. You can see that we'll continue down the road of the 3 mark for the ARL. Does the mic sound better when I get close? I feel like it's echoey when I lean back, but if I lean towards it, should I do the thing that all the YouTubers do, where how does it work with these guys? Hold on, we're just going to do this real time. They're always like, well, you know, Jim, the thing about the anonymizer is that, well, I got to tell you, I do want to go anonymous. I feel like maybe everyone's after me, and the truth is, my friend, if it's not paranoia if they are after you, you know what I mean? Should I do it that way? Or was that just stupid? I don't know. Look, this mic is pretty cool. All right. I'm pretty sure that means I've run out of things to say. So I don't know, because you get that, people do that side view. They're like, oh, I got the pop screen. That's what this is called, by the way. It's a pop screen. Pop screen. I always thought it was so you didn't spit on the mic, you know what I mean? But they get that side view, right? Which is bad for me because my nose is gigantic and broken. And they're staring off into infinity because they have very serious things to say about World of Tanks. See ya.